Welcome to GovAI AGENTIC Conference. We are here with Kevin McGrath of Meibel. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about Meibel? What are you all doing there?
Sure. Thanks for having me, and great to be here at the conference. At Meibel, we are a runtime platform for product and engineering teams to build generative AI applications. They use us so they don't have to manage and scale the infrastructure that's needed to run AI at scale, and also get the measurement capabilities that they need to maintain AI in production.
Okay, I'm going to challenge you a bit, Kevin.
Yeah.
If you had to say that very succinctly in one sentence for people who are like AI production scale, what? How would you then describe it?
If your company needs to build AI in-house, your
Yes.
product and engineering teams use us to do it.
That was winning. That was winning. Thank you, Kevin. So you're seeing many businesses successfully deploying AI, right? But from your perspective, what separates an AI use case that scales from one that fails?
Yeah, so you see companies taking on two main paths to AI right now. So one path is you're using an LLM like ChatGPT, or you have a developer co-pilot that sits next to your devs. Another path is how do I build AI into my business to actually create something new for my company?
Right.
And that's a bit of a harder path to go down, and that's the one that we focus on. And we're big believers at Meibel, and you can't deploy what you can't measure. And I think that's one of the biggest breaking points, is that people start using AI in production and they don't know how to tell, am I doing good or am I doing bad, right? And how do I do that without a human eyeball just kind of giving a thumbs up or thumbs down? How do you actually put measurement capabilities around that? How do you understand that it's your data that's driving the decision out of the AI and not some hallucination or made up fact that the LLM had in it before you started using it yourself?
Yes.
And I think this is one of the biggest gaps that we see between companies that are successful with AI, have these measurement capabilities, understand what it means to use their data and have a confidence scoring system to give data back to their engineers, whereas companies who are struggling a little bit are still eyeballing it.
I love that. The sentence that is hovering in my head is, you can't deploy what you can't measure.
Yes. Yeah.
Epic. Like, you're right. All these organizations have this data. It's just kind of hanging out and sitting there. And it sounds like Meibel helps to make sense of all of that as you help them create what they need for their orgs. That's wonderful. Now, where are organizations spending too much money and too much time when trying to make their AI systems dependable?
So this is, this is a hiccup along the way. So as I said, companies use AI. They take their data, they start pushing it out to an LLM. They start just giving it more and more data so they can try and get better answers. What they realize, though, is no amount of prompting and no amount of just throwing data at an LLM is eventually going to get you more, better, and higher fidelity answers.
Ooh, say that again
And,
for the people in the back.
Right. So what happens is your engineering team goes, okay, now we got to install a vector database. Now we need to start chunking our data. Now we need to start worrying about how we present our data. And they become a context engineering team, and then their context engineering team becomes an IOps team. And then your AI ops team is wondering how to do all these things. Yeah. And what's lost is all the things I just said aren't getting your business done, right? It's not getting the original thing you wanted your business to do done. You're building out this large set of AI infrastructure to eventually get to the place that you were originally trying to get to in the first place. So I think a lot of companies step into AI because the first results are very compelling. However, when they get into it, they realize building out the infrastructure, measuring it, understanding how they're doing is very hard.
Yeah.
And they can end up spending, not just months, but years trying to figure out how to build an infrastructure out. And you have to decide, hey, am I going to build that in-house, or am I going to bring someone in to help me get this done?
Makes sense. And so even you explaining that process about where all the time is being spent, I felt exhausted. Like, why don't we just bring Meibel in for sure?
There we go.
So let me ask you this. Where do you, and I know this is a question that when people get, they're like, I don't know, I'm not clairvoyant, but I'm going to ask anyway. Where do you see the AI market going, let's just say within the next year?
Yeah, I see a lot more adoption. Those two spheres I kind of told you about before, I think you're going to see a lot more human adoption of AI just in day-to-day jobs, right? You're going to have agents sitting next to humans, helping them do their current jobs better, more efficient. however they end up using AI. And then on the other side, I think you're going to see companies really differentiating themselves on how they bake AI into their products,
Yes.
how they build new products with AI based off the data that they have as organizations. And you're going to obviously see new companies based on AI. We are going from the kicking the tire stage to people who are getting confident enough with AI to push it to production. And the companies that embrace AI and figure out a way to build on AI, not just hand AI to their employees, but also
Yes.
build new products with AI, are going to absolutely differentiate themselves over the next few years from the people who are still sitting on the sidelines
Yeah.
and wondering, hey, is this the right move for me or not? And I do
Yes.
believe the first movers are going to have a big advantage here.
Great. Now, I have a selfish question, and this question is really around ethics. At Maybell, do you all have an ethical posture that you take when you're working with clients? And if so, what does that look like?
Sure. I mean, ethics are extremely important. They go all the way down through the LLM level.
Yes.
We want to make sure that we're always on the up and up with what we're doing with companies. We want to make sure that their data isn't getting, mushed with other customers' data. And we want to make sure that the results that they want are trackable and understandable.
Yes.
You work with the whole industry on just how these LLMs are trained and things like that. We don't necessarily go down into that level, but we don't want to use LLMs that were trained unethically, and we don't want to pass those on to our customers. So we want to help our customers make good decisions. We allow our customers to use a multitude of LLMs and other data connectors, but we also want to make sure we're only connecting to things that have been built ethically and nothing that is going to endanger what our customers build for production, obviously.
I absolutely love that. And thank you for taking that posture as a company. Kevin, it's been wonderful speaking with you. And make sure you all take a look at Maybell. They're making it easier to deploy AI in your companies.
Thank you.